Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Adulam here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if this is your first time of checking out my channel, please do subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you get to know anytime I put up a new video. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make an African print play suit or jumpsuit for a year-old baby girl. So if you're interested, let's move down to work. The pant length will be 18 inches. As you can see, I've marked out the 18 inches all the way down. Okay, the next one now is the hip line. The hip line is 4.5. To know how to get your hip line for your baby, a year-old baby girl, you just minus from the shoulder to the hip is 11.5. You now minus the half length, which is 7, from that 11.5, and it will give you 4.5. So the hip line is 4.5 here, and I'll connect. Okay, so the next thing is the crotch. The crotch line is the hip divided by 4. So for this, the hip is 22 inches. So 22 inches divided by 4 is 5.5. So I'll mark out 5.5 here. And I'll connect. Okay, so this is the crotch. The thigh line, I'll be using just 1/2 inch. This is half. And I'll connect as well. So this is the thigh line. So the next is the knee. The knee line from the waist is 11 inches. So this is 11 inches here. And I'll connect. Okay. So this is the knee line. This is the knee line. So now for this area, I'll be using the hip, the same thing I use on the crotch, which is the hip divided by 4, 5.5. So I'll mark that all the way down to the crotch area. This is 5.5 here. 5.5. 5.5. So I'll connect. Okay. So now on the crotch area, I will add 1 inch for ease. So this is 1 inch. And I'll connect it. So now I'll connect it to this hip point here. Okay, with a very slant curve, but make sure your curve doesn't go in too much. Okay, so this is it. Circumference is 5.5, but I'll add half for ease to make it 6 inches. So this is the point here. Okay, so now here on the crotch line, I will check what I have here. Here I have 6.5. So half of that is 3.25, which is here. Okay, so I'll mark all that all the way down. I'll not mark it up to the waist area because I'll be using elastic on this area, so I will not connect it to the waist area. So I'll mark out the 3.25 all the way down, and I'll connect. Okay, so now the style is 5.5 plus 1 inch for is making it 6 inches. So I'll just fold it like this, my tape like this, okay, and I'll place this point here to mark out the 6 inches. It's here, okay. This is the point here. Okay, the knee area, the knee is 4.75, so this is 4.75 here. I'll just fold my tape like this, and I'll place this point here, and I'll mark it out 4.75, which is here. Okay, and the ankle is 3/4. This is 3/4 here, and I'll just fold it, and I'll place this point on this this line like this, and this is 3/4 here. Okay, so now I'll connect it first. I'll connect this area first. Okay, as you can see, I've connected it. So for this area, I'll be adding 1 inch because I don't want to be a fitted play suit. I want it to be a kind of bogey. So I'll add 1 inch on this area all the way down. Then I'll connect. Okay, as you can see, this is our point. So this is the point here. I'll add the one, and this is the one. I hope you understand. Okay, or let me just connect the first line so that you see, so that you don't get confused. This is the first line here. So this is that first line. Okay, so now I will follow this line and add the 1 inch. So this is the 1 inch here. I hope you now understand. Okay, so I'll connect. So now this is the new line. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to add my 1/2 inch for seam allowance all the way around. Let me just do all that quickly. Half inch for seam, this is what I have. Okay, so but for this hem area, I'll be adding 1.5 for my seam on this area. So this is 1.5 here. And I'll connect. Okay, so this is it. Now, since this is a play suit or a jumpsuit, I'll be adding 2 inches upwards. The reason why I'll be adding 2 inches is because most kids have big tummy, and if you add it exactly like this, it will not be free on the crotch area for them. So the best thing to do is to add 2 inches upwards, so that by the time the tummy carry the thing, it will not disturb on the crotch area. So I'll just add 2 inches upwards. And I'll connect. I hope you understood what I just explained. Okay, so this is our front. The front pattern is ready. So now I'll cut it out, then we'll use this to cut out the back pattern. So let me just cut it out. I'll just use my front to place on a plain paper like this. Okay, let me just spin it all around first. So this is what I have after pinning it. So what I'll do is this line, I'll just mark it out, because this is where we'll be making a little adjustment. But for this other place, I will just add 1 inch here. That is the only thing we'll do. And on this crotch here, I will add another 1 inch for this back. So let me just trace it all out first. Okay, as you can see, I have marked it all out. The only thing I did not include here is the seam allowance. As you can see, I did not include the seam allowance. Okay, so now on this crotch line, here, if you still remember, for the front I used 1 inch, but for this back I'll be using 1.5 inch here. Then I will connect to this point. I'll use 1.5 inch here. Then on this area I'll add 1/2 inch. This is for the back. Okay, down to this point here. Then I'll connect it now to this point from here. This is for the back, and I'll now join it to this area. Okay, so this is how the back will look. Okay, then on this area as well, I'll be joining, putting my 1/2 inch for seam all around, the same way I did the front area. It's just almost the same thing. So the next thing now is for this area here. I'll mark out 1 inch. Remember, for the up I used 2 inch, if you still remember. So for the back I'll be using 1 inch, because the back is not like the front. The back is straight, no big tummy there. So I'll just add 1 inch for the back, and I'll connect it straight. Okay, so now I'll be adding another 1 inch. Okay, here, add 1 inch here. Okay, and I'll connect. Then from this point I'll just take it straight to this point here. So this is how the back will look. This is how the back will look. Now this area I will now put in my 1/2 inch for seam all round. So after that, I will take this front and place it, making sure that the hip area matches with the back, and also remember to leave that 1/2 inch that we added for seam, and also here as well. Then I will pin it all round like this. Then I will cut it out, or cut the back one out first, okay, using this front after marking it like this. So I'm using this one because I really want it to give me what I wanted. I really want it to be a free play suit for the baby. That's why I'm using this, so that it will give me exactly what I really need. So I will just pin it now and cut it out. This is the front pattern, while this is the back. So I will just place it on my fabric now and cut it out. This is the front, while this is the back. So for the upper part, I'm going to use my pattern, this, to cut it out. So to see how to cut out the upper part like this, you can check out my video, how to make a christening or baptism dress for a little girl, and you see how I cut out this pattern step by step. So I'll be placing this on my fabric and I will cut it out. Cut it out. But now the neckline, I want it to be a square. Okay, so all I have to do is just to make this line straight and let it join on this line too. So I'll just use my ruler and just make a straight line and make sure it will join this one here. Okay, so I'll just cut it out. Okay, so this is it. This is how I want it. So I will still cut out the back like this, exactly like this, and I will just fix in, add 1 inch for my zipper. But you can also leave the zipper, because since the back is going to be like this, it will still be free, because on the waist we'll be using elastic, so you can skip the zipper area. Okay, so let me cut out the back, the front and the back. Okay, so now I'll cut out the lining. Okay, since I have enough fabric, so I decided to use the same as my lining. Okay, so now I'm going to join these together with the back. Okay, so I will join here together on the shoulder, and I will do the same thing on this other side, the back side, making sure the front is facing front. Okay, so I'll just do the same thing on the shoulder as well. Let me just do that first. Okay, for this I did a little adjustment on the back since I'll not be using zip. Okay, so I extended the back. I used from the shoulder, I used, that is 4 inches for the back, because if you don't extend it, since I will not be using zipper, it will not pass through, especially on her hip area, it will not pass through. So when I finish adjusting it, I now fold like this to check what I have here, if it's up to her hip. Like here I have like this is 20, okay, 21, which is very okay. It will pass. So this is very okay. When you pass it through, it can easily pass, especially around the hip area. So now I will make my lining to be the same. Okay, let me just do that. So as you can see, I've placed it over on this one. Okay, so I will sew. Okay, before sewing, I will add the hand here. Let me just cut out that one quickly before we sew this area. Okay, for the hand, you can decide how many inches you want it, because I'll be pleating mine. So I will use, it's just a small hand that I would like to put there. So I will use 12 inches. Okay, 12 inches by 3 inches is very okay for me. So let me just cut it out. Okay, this is it. I'll mark out the 3 inches that I want to use here. Okay, so I'm going to cut it slant like this to connect to these points. Okay, let me just trace it. I'm going to cut it like this. Okay, this is the shape I want it. Okay, like a boat. So I will just cut it out. Remember, this side is folded. Okay, so I'll do the same for the other side. Let me just do all that quickly. Okay, this is how it looks. As you can see, I've joined it and I've notched it all around and top stitch it as well, as you can see. Okay, so now, like I said, it's like a boat. So this is how it is. I will now give it a little pleat. Okay, this area is up to you. If you want it to be more thick, you can make this longer than mine. Okay, so I will just do it like that, a little pleat. Then I will now fix it on the hand. Okay, let me just do that. Okay, this is what I have after sewing it. Okay, so now I will just join it, pin it like this on the shoulder, sorry, on the armhole area, like this, starting from this center. Okay, and I will pin it before, let me just do all that. Okay, I have pinned it. Look at the way I did it, so that by the time I sew with the lining, this will just be very okay. So this is how it is. I will now take the lining and place it over like this now, and I will sew like I just said. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. Let me just do that quickly. Okay, I've finished sewing it, as you can see, and I've given it a notch. So now I will turn it. Okay, so this is how it will look. Let me remove this pin. Okay, so this is it. See how neat it is. This is how the back inside will be. So now I will do the same thing on the other side, and I'll close up the neck. This is it. I'll do the same thing on this other side, and I'll now close the neck and turn it over. To see more on this, you can check out my video on how to make a party dress for a year-old baby girl, and you'll see more on this. So okay, let me just do all this that I just said. Okay, after joining, this is how it looks. This is the front, while this is the back. Remember, I opened this place so that I can pass it through, although there are other ways of doing this without opening here. Okay, so this is it. Now I will join the lower part, which is the pants. Okay, so for the pants, I'm going to close up here, and I'll do the same on the front. Let me just do that. So after joining it, I will take the upper part and I will notch the midpoint here so that I can join it with this pant side. So let me just do that. Notch it here. So I will now place it over like this, and I'll just sew it. So this is what I have after joining it. I'll do the same on the back. Okay, before I will now use my elastic thread and sew this area. So let me join this back area as well. Okay, I'm done joining the front and the back. Okay, so now this is the thread I'll be using. So I'll just put it in my ruler and I will start sewing. I'll first of all sew it on this joining. Okay, then I'll take ½ inch from the up and ½ inch from the down. So I will just sew it a straight line till the ½ inch for the upper part. I'll do the same thing at the back. Okay, so let me just do that quickly. Okay, this is what I have after using the elastic thread on the waist area. So now I'll just join the crotch together. Okay, I'll just join the crotch together and I'll close up the dress so that I will show you the final look of this dress. But before that, remember on this area I'll be using elastic. So let me just join this and close the both sides first, and I'll show you how to put the elastic on this area. Okay, I finished joining the sides together, as you can see. So now I will turn. You can easily turn it, and I will close up the down. Okay, so this is the back and this is the front. You can see it's already looking beautiful. So now for this area, I'll just take my elastic. So this is the size that I'll be using for the elastic. So as you're folding, keep in mind to give enough space that can accommodate this. So I'll just fold and make sure you keep enough space. Okay, so this is what I'll be using to sew. So I will leave allowance or space where I will pass the elastic through. Okay, so I'll be using 6 inches because I don't want it to be too tight. Okay, for the baby. So this is 6. So let me just sew this and pass it through, then and I'll show you the final look of the playsuit. Let me just do that. So this is the final look of the dress. All I have to do now is to give it a good press, and that is it. So guys, that is it for today. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you get to know anytime I put up a new video. So guys, I'll see you on the next one.